All right. Where are my dog owners in here? Dog owners? Where are my mountain bikers in here? Mountain bikers? All right, I don't know what everybody else is doing to pass the time. Okay. Drinking wine, yes. So I am standing in the middle of a redwood forest, and there's tall trees all around. The ground is soft beneath my feet, and it's completely silent. I look down the trail, there's nobody there. I look down the trail ahead of me to where it curves around a bend, there's nobody there. And then I call my dog, and within seconds, she comes tearing around the trail, running at top speed, galloping like a racehorse. She looks like a little gray torpedo. And as she gets closer, I can see her black ears flapping. And when she gets up to me, I see nothing more than a doggy smile on her face. And I give her a piece of cheese. Daisy and I have been practicing recall, which is the art of coming when called, for months now, in the woods behind my house, and she is very good at it. She comes when called almost every single time, even if I can't see her. Daisy is my rescue cattle dog. She's about 1.5 years old, and I got her sight unseen except for a Facebook post on a healer dog rescue group. And they found her running at large outside of Fresno, networked her all the way to Emeryville, and I drove down from Fort Bragg and picked her up. So I thought, I had only just moved to Fort Bragg, like Josh said. I had been in Oakland for 10 years and moved to Fort Bragg about 5 months ago. And I thought, what better way to make friends in a place where you don't know a lot of people than get a dog? I imagine myself getting to know the doggy community of Fort Bragg, going to the dog park, going to the beach, having doggy play dates. But I quickly realized that Daisy is not like other dogs. When she greeted another dog, it wasn't butt sniffing, which is the polite term for what dogs do when they greet each other politely. It was nose to nose with ears pricked forward, weight forward on her front legs, and she must have said something to those other dogs in their doggy language that was like, your mother is a fat bitch. Because it would inevitably end with snarling and barking and scuffling, and I would have to pull her away. And I thought, okay, no dog parks, too many fights, no doggy play dates. We tried those, and even with dogs that she knew once, she got into fights with them. She would actually try to herd them by biting their cheeks, and I realized she's a blue heeler, or an Australian cattle dog, and I think a lot of people may have gotten those during the pandemic. And I got her because she's very loyal. Cattle dogs are known for being very loyal and relentless and very intelligent, but they were bred to not back down when there were animals much larger than themselves, like bulls and steers and things. So that day in the woods, she's coming back and forth and running off in the woods again, coming back. And then I'm fiddling with my podcast for like 10 seconds, literally 10 seconds. And she's disappeared around a curve. And then I hear barking. And it's this throaty, urgent, assertive barking. And I realized it's my dog barking. And I know that there's, bears in this area. There's big animals in the country. The woods that we're in is the Jackson State Forest, which is 48,000 acres and hundreds of miles of trails. And we hardly ever see anybody on our walks. So I run down the trail, and I see that Daisy has cornered against the edge of the trail what she thinks are two mountain lions. But they're not mountain lions. They're mountain bikers. And they are not happy. They have their bikes, their fancy, very expensive looking mountain bikes, squarely between their genitals and my small 35-pound cattle dog, who is barking her head off at them, making sure they do not go forward, do not go backward. And I get her on the leash, and I apologize profusely, and they're like, "That's a very aggressive dog." And I'm like, "I know, I'm so sorry, I know, and you should keep that dog on a leash." And there's people who on these trails who are probably a lot more afraid of dogs than we are. And the thing is, there's nothing so gorgeous as seeing a dog run. And there's nothing so beautiful as seeing a dog do its doggy thing and sniff it and use its doggy senses. And I know there is no amount of excuses can make up for the fact that I am an irresponsible dog owner by letting my aggressive dog run around off leash where she could bark at people. So I vow to do better. I go through 3 in-person dog trainers, and I enroll in an online dog training course for reactive dogs. And I learned 3 things. This reactivity is when Daisy's triggered. That's the words they use, triggered. And when Daisy barks and screams her head off, it's because she's gone over her threshold. For instance, when she has seen the UPS man. In fact, Daisy it's like she just doesn't like other dogs. And it's like she's in her own doggy reality show. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win. But I'm in my own reality show, which is, I want to make friends, but my dog is an asshole. And the third thing I learned is that there's a solution to this reactivity, and it's called counter conditioning. And I'll explain it like this. Say you're driving in traffic and somebody cuts you off. Well, that makes you really angry, right? You get pissed off, you start fuming, you can't stop thinking about that car that cut you off. Well, what if every time somebody cut you off, there's someone in your passenger seat who starts giving you $100 bills? Boop, 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 $100 bills. You would quickly learn that getting cut off isn't such a bad thing, and might even enjoy and feel calm and happy about getting cut off because of all these good things that come from it. And that is what counter conditioning is for dogs. Only instead of $100 bills, it's cheese, or hot dogs, or cookies, or bread, or for Daisy, it could be anything, chicken poop. Anyway, I don't carry around chicken poop with me. But the point is to scatter the treats on the ground when she sees her triggers, which is usually other dogs. Although, to be honest, I have a hardcore feminist dog. She doesn't like men either. Unless they squat down on their haunches and tell her in a very high-pitched voice, "Of course women deserve the same pay as men. Of course women deserve the control over their uterus whenever they need to control their pregnancies." So, anyway. So when Daisy sees her trigger, I scatter the treats. And she gets to work sniffing, which she loves sniffing, and eating the food, which she also loves. And so she no longer barks at other dogs when we're out. But I have to be careful that she doesn't go over her threshold, because that could mess everything up. So one day, I'm in the village of Mendocino, practicing with Daisy, looking around for other dogs, and this lady comes up to me and says, "Hi," in this really friendly voice. And she's got very short hair, kind of like mine, and sensible shoes, kind of like mine. And I'm like taken aback, because I don't expect anybody to say hi to me. Usually they say hi to my dog. And so I think, okay, hi, friendliness, friends, possibility of friends. But she walks around the corner, and I look to my left, and I see 3 more ladies who look like they're part of her tribe coming towards me, and they are being led by a little cinnamon-colored mini labradoodle who is on a retractable leash. And you know those retractable leashes, kind of the dog leads their owner around on the retractable leash, and the mini Labradoodle is heading straight for Daisy. And I know if Daisy crosses her threshold, all hell could break loose. And so as they get closer and closer, I panic and I say, "We're not friendly! We're not friendly!" And they get taken aback, but then they regain their composure and go around the corner, say thank you for telling us. And I feel, oh, they must think I'm a total crazy person. And I yell after them, "I'm friendly! It's the dog that's not friendly!" Thank you.